So you think about moving to San Luis Obispo County? Well, today I'm going to dive into this map and walk you through all of the towns and microclimates of San Luis Obispo County. This is very, very important before you make a commitment to move here because we have a lot of different microclimates. You can basically choose your own weather, and I'd hate to see you buy a house in the wrong neighborhood. So I'm going to get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about moving to San Luis Obispo County, then hit the subscribe button and tap that bell icon as well, so then you'll be the first to know when I post more information about San Luis Obispo County. My name is Bruce Carson with Keller Williams Realty Central Coast, and I get phone calls, emails, and text messages from people just like you every single day, and I absolutely love it. People relocating here, it's just so much fun to help them move. So let's dive into the map of San Luis Obispo County, getting after it right. Okay, so we're gonna dive into the San Luis Obispo County map. We're gonna start down here in the south. Callender and Nipomo are two southernmost areas of San Luis Obispo County. You see it's butted up right next to Santa Barbara County. Santa Maria is the northernmost town of Santa Barbara County. So Nipomo's neat. You can see that it's inland from the coast. It's inland a couple of miles. It doesn't take much. A couple miles is enough to be off of the coast and to get away from the marine layer that we'll talk about later when we get up north to the beach towns. So inland, Nipomo, because it is inland and we get the more sun, it has a tendency to be warmer. It's usually about 5 degrees warmer than the beach towns that are just to its north. Nipomo did grow a little bit later than the rest of the county. I've been here for a little bit over 20 years, and I've seen Nipomo grow quite a bit since I've been here. Traditionally, there was just one exit, Teff Street in Nipomo. Now there's two. That's big growth already, but there's a lot of space in Nipomo. There's a lot of open land where we can continue to grow down there in Nipomo. Nipomo, the price points are generally more affordable than some of the northern towns between Nipomo and San Luis Obispo. So let's move northbound. So we're gonna leave Nipomo, we're gonna go right up the 101, and that puts us in the 5 cities. I've talked about the 5 cities before. It's also called South County for the southern part of San Luis Obispo County. The 5 cities, we have Pismo Beach, Oro Grande, Grover Beach, Oceano, and Halcyon. Some people will argue Halcyon's not a town, and the 5th is Shell Beach, but I don't think so. Anyway, these coastal towns are very nice. They have a Mediterranean climate. They're right up against the coast, so we get a lot of coastal influence in the form of marine layers and fog and wind that comes in off of the coast. It keeps our climate very mild throughout the year. It's very, very mild. It changes and fluctuates a little bit. During the wintertime, it gets a little bit cooler at night, but then still warms up during the day. We're gonna have usually once a year, we might get frost or get cold enough for a frost. And again, usually once a year, then we're gonna have a little bit of a heat wave. It usually hits on one weekend, sometime in the summer, maybe October or so. And it might get toasty enough to the point where we wish we had air conditioning. Most of the homes down here in the South County do not have or do not need air conditioning until that week comes along. Once you spend those couple of days a little bit uncomfortable and you start thinking, hey, let's go buy some AC for the house. Then that weather moves on and it stays nice and cool. We get that Mediterranean climate again for a very long time. So if you like cool coastal weather, these are the towns you want to be in. If you want some more sun, you can always, these 5 cities are all bunched up, but Arroyo Grande is actually really, really big. It goes all the way out here. It gets Lake Lopez out here. There's the lake, and you can see it goes way, way out to the east. I mean, we can get some hot weather out here. This is very mountainous and some nice terrain. So Arroyo Grande is really big. If you want to be out and have a farm, have some land, have some livestock or what have you, then Arroyo Grande out here, that's where you're going to want to be. So Grover Beach is landlocked. Pismo Beach is small. There's not a lot of room for growth. Oceano just goes right along the coastline. It's just a little sliver of unincorporated area. And for the most part, all of the weather is the same in those 5 cities areas. So we're going to go northbound. Our next town is going to be Avila Beach. So from Pismo, we just go a little bit north, and then it goes inland to Avila Beach. Now, Avila is a Chumash word. The Chumash Indians were indigenous here, and the word Avila means hole in the sky. Once you get there, once you hear the story, it will make sense. So we can have a marine layer all over the whole entire coast. We can drive all the way out to Avila Beach and not see the sun at all. But once we get out to this peninsula in Avila Beach, it's very normal to have a big hole in the sky, meaning it's going to be sunny in Avila when it's foggy and cool everywhere else. So if you ever want to escape the fog and get some sun, you can go to Avila Beach, or you can go east to Arroyo Grande, and you can get your sun and your warmer climate. Arroyo Grande out here is going to be a little bit warmer again than the coast. The coast, again, we just have that marine influence, and we have a couple of months that actually get names. We have May gray and June gloom. So you do want to be prepared for that. If you don't like living in the fog, if you can't handle a couple months of fog, don't live down here. Okay, if you want to be sunny, again, you can go out here to Arroyo Grande, or let's go to our next town. We're going to jump on the Highway 101 and head up towards San Luis Obispo. Now, right out here in Sea Canyon and Avila Beach, there's mountains and hills that go through here. There's a lot of wildlife. It's absolutely beautiful. And the marine layer kind of gets stuck on these hills. So when we drive northbound on Highway 101, there's a turn that goes a little bit eastward, and it goes around those mountains, and then all of a sudden it's sunny and warm. San Luis Obispo, the town of San Luis Obispo, has been voted one of the happiest places to live and one of the sunniest places to live. It's very sunny, it's very warm in San Luis Obispo. Very warm, I mean it's going to be another 5 to 10 degrees warmer than down here with these coastal towns. San Luis Obispo is the main town. Obviously, the county is named after it, so it's our biggest town in the county. We also have a college there, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and then another college, which is Cuesta College, which feeds into Cal Poly. San Luis Obispo is our oldest town. It's been around for a very, very long time. The missions went in early. The Spaniards came in through there when they were out exploring California. So San Luis Obispo is a cool, quaint little town, and there are a lot of people there, especially when the school is in session. So now our big change is we're going to go back to the coast. So we can drive on Los Osos Valley Road to get to Los Osos, or Highway 1 that goes to Morro Bay. But both of these, Baywood, Los Osos, those are two little towns together south of Morro Bay, and then Morro Bay is right up here. You can see the bay right there. So those towns, those coastal towns, again, they get that marine influence. They're cool. They're foggy. There's not nearly as much sun as there is when we go inland to San Luis Obispo or any other areas out here. But that's really your choice. We have a lot of people that come from the Central Valley of California, and they come from Northern California, and even some from the South. The people that are coming from the valley during the summertime, they are coming here to cool off and to escape the heat. In the valley, it's very, very hot during the summertime. 100 degrees plus, and it lasts all summer long. So when the weekend rolls around, in all these coastal towns, we get a whole influx of people that come in. They drive our economy. They spend a lot of money here, and so we need to welcome and accommodate those people when they come. So these are our coastal towns, the cool coastal towns. The reason why I'm showing you this is the last thing that I want anyone to do is come here, not have a proper consultation with a realtor like myself, and choose the wrong town. Okay, so someone that wants to live in the sunny part of San Luis Obispo, you don't want to come out here and buy a house in Los Osos, Morro Bay, or Pismo Beach, or Grover Beach. You're going to be in the fog, and it's probably going to be too cold for you. So if you want to be in the sun, San Luis Obispo, Arroyo Grande, and Nipomo. Those are all just inland enough where you get some nice Mediterranean climate and sun. Now, if you want a bunch of elbow room, if you want to farm, if you want to, have a lot of acreage out here, Arroyo Grande, this is the place to be. Arroyo Grande is really big. It even has the lake out here, so there's a lot of space and a lot of elbow room and a lot of big farms and almost like plantations out there that people can have a whole bunch of space. So now when we go from Morro Bay, our next town is Cayucos. Cayucos is a small coastal town, similar climate to Morro Bay and Los Osos. Foggy. It's foggy and it's cool. Of course, we get some sun. We get some nice weather throughout the year, but you want to be prepared. If you're going to live on the coast, you're going to have that marine influence. You're going to have that coastal influence. Next up is Cambria. It's known by Cambria, Pines by the Sea. They have a lot of pine hills and pine forests up there. Beautiful beaches like Moonstone Beach, where you can go collect a lot of great stuff when you go out beach combing. Cambria is it's a small little town. There are not a lot of people there. So if you really want to get away and just be away from it all, go up there to Cambria or Cayucos. Those are small little towns. Next up to the north is San Simeon. Super small town up there in San Simeon. That's our last town in the county along the coast. Now we have some famous residents there in San Simeon in the form of elephant seals. The elephant seals do not stop many places. There's just two here in California, and one is San Simeon. The other one is up north by Santa Cruz. But again, this whole area, we're going to have all the way down the coast, all the way along the coastline. We're going to have that cool marine influence and the nice, pleasant, cool, moist air. So, San Luis Obispo, we talked about that. Let's go back to San Luis Obispo. And then Highway 101 was built up in the 40s, 50s, and 60s to go up north into the northern part of San Luis Obispo County. Now, this is another microclimate that you need to know about. Once you leave San Luis Obispo and you start going 101 towards Santa Margarita, you're going over a hill. We call it the grade. I do the air quotes. It's kind of funny because I moved here. I lived in the Sierra Nevadas, and I also lived in the Rocky Mountains for a while. And so those were like really big, legit mountains. And everyone calls this the grade. It's only like a 1,500 foot elevation change. It's not very big, but it is called the grade. And once you go up to the grade and you get to the top, then the weather changes. In the wintertime, it's cooler. In the summertime, that's the really important thing, it is a lot warmer. So I tell this story to people because if you're looking to move here, you're going to find out that the property values in these northern towns are lower than they are in this region. And it makes sense. There's more space up here. There's more elbow room. It's definitely way off of the coast. However, on a typical Sunday or a typical day in the summer, we can be down here in the beach area, and we're gonna have a temperature around 65 degrees on a typical, say, July day. We have the opportunity to get out of that cool weather, get out of the fog if it's all foggy out here. Then all we have to do is drive to the east and go to Arroyo Grande, or go north to San Luis Obispo. Now, San Luis Obispo on that 65, we're 65 down here, typical July day. San Luis Obispo is going to be about 80 to 85, warmer and sunnier. San Luis Obispo has been voted, sometimes it's been voted the warmest and the sunniest place in the country. So it's a very, very popular place to be. However, same day, 80 degrees in San Luis Obispo, we drive up here to Santa Margarita and hit Atascadero. And now all of a sudden the temperature is going to be 100 plus. It gets very, very hot up there, and it doesn't cool down the way that it does with the coastal influence. So that's a really big change in the summertime. So summer, it's hot up there. These houses have air conditioning. They have swimming pools. They have swamp coolers. These houses down here do not have any of that. It's pretty rare to see a swimming pool down here. It's equally as rare to see swamp coolers or air conditioning units. Sometimes a little window air conditioning unit that someone might run to try to cool down a room, but for the most part, cool here, hot here. In the wintertime, still same weather, cool here, and colder up here. So that's a really big change in weather. And these are our microclimates. So we can go out farther, and this is where we're gonna have more room. So it's really spread out out here. Creston, Shandon, we have big ranches. We have lots of wineries in this whole North County area. And some of the grapes absolutely love that hot weather. So we have wine tasting microclimates as well. So up north where it's hot, we're gonna get a lot of big red, robust red grapes and red wines. Whereas down in Arroyo Grande and San Luis Obispo, we still have some reds, but we get some white wines and some cooler climate wines growing down here. So the important thing is that you can, just throughout the Central Coast, you can choose your own weather. The last thing that I want to do is have someone come out here and say, hey, I've been living in Bakersfield or Fresno my whole life, burning hot, I can't wait to move to the coast, and I see how affordable things are here in Paso Robles, but I know that it's cool on the coast because of the marine influence. No, you're gonna come out here to Paso, it's gonna be the same temperature as it is in Bakersfield or Fresno. Maybe a little bit cooler, but it's going to be hot during the summertime. Come out here in the Mid-State Fair that is held in Paso Robles, it's hot, and it doesn't cool off. It does not get cool or cold at night. So microclimates, microclimates, microclimates. It's really, really super important. So please, if you are choosing to move to the Central Coast, or you're having thoughts of moving to the Central Coast, call, text, email me, get in touch with me. Let's talk. I will consult you. I'll ask you all the right questions about your climate, about your budget, about how much space you want, how much land you want, how big you want the house, and let's get you into the right spot. Even if you have to rent for a year or so to figure out where you really want to be on the Central Coast, that's okay. I will help you with that as well and support you all the way through. I'm Bruce Carson with Keller Williams Realty Central Coast.